Hello, everybody. Welcome to Shit Isn't a Dirty Word, a not so ordinary podcast hosted by Karin Nahmani. Hello, Karin. How
Hey
are you?
Larry, what's up, Mama? Doing well,
Good.
living in LA, you know, yeah.
I know.
Fires, I think it's about being over. What? We had amazing, I want to say amazing. We
Right.
had a tough
Yeah.
Yeah.
weeks,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But thank
Definitely for
God
sure.
we're good,
Yeah. It's been
yeah.
it was kind of crazy there for about a week and uh this is
A week and a
actually
half, I want to say,
yeah.
devastating.
It is. It is to see all the devastation and everything that happened in and around Los Angeles, Palisades, Malibu. Absolutely devastating. You were evacuated for
Oh,
a quick
wow.
minute, right? And you had everything all packed
Yeah,
up, and
for
then they
a
said,
bit,
"Come on back." Yeah, yeah. Which is a blessing that
yeah.
you got to go back home. I should say, by the way, this is a
Yeah, but a
joint
lot of you were
podcast.
crying.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is.
It's been crazy, for sure. And as everybody knows, I mean, the Palisades in Malibu are where all the powerful Hollywood people live. So, a lot of rescheduling with the Grammys and rescheduling, with a lot of shows. And actually, that's one of the things that we're going to talk about on this podcast
Speaking of
today.
shows,
Exactly. Thank you, Eric.
Okay, let's welcome Eric Castle
Yeah.
here into the
Yes,
house.
Eric. Yes, yes, yes. Not the one of the most important aspects of all of our podcasts and everything that
oh,
we
thank
do.
you.
Absolutely, Eric. Kareen, so what's happening right now? Obviously, this is a shit isn't a dirty word. This is your podcast, but this is a joint podcast with the Something Something podcast. Um, you have made, I think, giant strides in the world of gut health. Um, and it is beginning to show because your one woman show, which
First
had
of all, congratulations on
yeah,
that, Kareem. That
yeah.
is really awesome. I mean, that you're able to bring your message to people
Thank you.
this way. That's really awesome.
Very much. Very
Thank you so,
much.
so much, Eric. And I must say one thing. I couldn't do it really. I know it's cliche and everything. Well, I might have the business part of it and the knowledge of it, but I couldn't do any of it without you two partner
Oh,
in
thank
my crime of bringing God health to the mainstream, because it take one lunatic to start the movement, and I needed two other lunatic to join me,
That's it.
and being there when everybody say no and when everybody try to you know take me off whatever my path is, and being aligned with my passion of treating people and helping people. I don't like to say treating people, because helping them, open the door for them, sometimes cure them, sometimes not, but definitely, definitely helping them in every aspect of the way I know, through gut health, through colonics, through emotions, physical, mental, and I couldn't do it really. And I thank you both, because I dreamed it, but you two helped me to achieve that dream. And this is just in the it's just even in its beginning, because I'm doing it for 25 years. I'm creating that movement for 25 years. But right now, all the seeds we put there, it's coming through. And I've never dreamed about having a show or writing a book, but it happened because it's supposed to happen, because those were my only outlets to bring that message out there. And yes, I needed two other crazy ass mind like myself to join me and actually believe in me and believe in the way I'm leading, and to become that key person of influence, at least in my area, in the health field, in gut health field. And I'm happy. I'm so happy that we had Eric. I wish you were there. You were there with us in our spirit,
Man, yeah.
but it was amazing show. For me, it was first time really on stage, because I'm not an actress. Yeah, no, I'm definitely not an actress. So for all the people that ask themselves what show, it's I want to say it's a show slash speaking event slash um, how you say it, yeah, just a show of me telling why. But more than anything is bringing myself to the front, bringing everything, no barriers, no, we talk a lot of shit there. We laugh, we
Hmm.
learn really from first, you know, my personal experience. And like I said before, I'm not an actress, so everything the audience got, it's me. Like
Hmm.
literally naked me, no barrier, which was amazing. And it was
Hmm.
so successful that they chose that show and they nominated us.
Yeah.
And I
That's
needed
so
to
cool.
pack my things and move back to the stage second time on January 16, which we were so thrilled to do. But with all the events of the fires, as I tell Larry, I always listen to my gut. And when everything started, I said, let's postpone it.
Yeah.
And then he said, let's not. And, we went back and forth with it. But at the end, I should have, I just listened to my gut
Hmm.
and I
Hmm.
postponed it because, first of all, I don't want to be, you know, connected to any of this devastation. And I'm honoring my words that we will proceed some of the sale of all the sales to
Hmm.
the LAFD.
Yep.
Even
Wow.
though we postponed it, it's still, we're gonna still donate that money, that amount. Um, and because I want to bring that show to people that's gonna enjoy. And with all that devastation, most of my clientele are still evacuated, and it's devastating. And my heart goes to them. And for that, I mean, I didn't see any reason why I need to do it and to go on stage. Uh, I think postpone it was a great idea. With that being said, we probably gonna do one show in New York,
Hmm.
Eric.
Oh, I'll be there
So
with bells on.
Yes. Yes.
I know for sure you will. And so I always say one door slam, the other door open, and no hard feeling. And I'm so happy with this decision. And yes, I will go on stage second time in LA,
Yeah.
but we will do it with more happiness. And that's what I want to bring, more happiness to the table.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, that's what's gonna happen. We will do another show, so stay
Yeah.
tuned for the next dates.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's just a beginning.
It, it is just the beginning. It absolutely is. And I mean, when you look at it from an entrepreneur standpoint, not just an entertainment, because now you've crossed over into that entertainment realm where you did write your own show. You put it together. Um, and so you have a lot of different moving parts with you professionally, right, going on, because obviously you have your own business in Pure Center there in Los Angeles. And you have now your one woman show, which is absolutely a speaking engagement. It's really infotainment, right? Where it's informational entertainment. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
it's a show slash lecture
hmm
slash, you know, uh, information,
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
open eye, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. And
just in a very funny show, like in a very funny mood.
it really is. And, a lot of people, I think, they don't get the opportunity unless they listen to the show or they know you personally. What kind of positive and I don't want to say peppy, but this great energy that you have, and to hear you um, talk about where you came from. Um, in terms of your family, your history about getting into holistic health. Um, Talk a little bit about what motivated you really to create your one woman show.
I think it's collaboration of a lot of things, but one main reason was same thing as I always do. I have an idea of what I want to pitch or how I want to bring things to the mainstream. And in this world, unless you're really pitching it in live, the message is not going through sometimes. Because there is a lot of information out there. I'm not inventing anything. Let's put it that way. I'm not inventing anything about gut health or about colonics or about this whole field. But my thing was like, okay, so the information is out there. Whoever wants to Google it can always Google the information about what is gas, bloating, constipation, and etc., etc. But to really understand from my point of view and to bring it to the audience, to bring it out there in the most personal aspect, because I'm one person. I mean, I can treat 10 hours a day. Okay. I'm limited there, but I'm not limited on spreading a message. I'm not limited on helping others wide, like open wide. And um, you heard me saying that many times. Even if I helped one person that heard me, that I opened something in his mind, in his brain, or even take a look at the situation in a different way. I did my thing. This is what I'm living for. This is why I do what I do. I treat people because I need to work, and yes, I earn money, obviously. So yes, that aspect is great, but this is not the only reason I'm doing it. So it's more wide. My goal and what I really wanted to become is I want key influence, key person of influence
Hmm
on that area, because it is a gray area. No one wants to touch. And I guess I have, you want to say balls or guts, or I'm too crazy to bring it, to talk about it so freely. And when I talk about it, people are not defensive and they're not afraid.
hmm
Suddenly, wow, it makes sense to them. So yeah, I want to make sense to people that there is other ways. And more important, it's so important to me, and gut health is so important that I want to leave a mark. I want people to understand how important and how effective gut health is in our life and our
hmm
health and our mental, physical, spiritual. So many things connect to one place, and this one place is the one place we ignore. And we ignore because, you know if you attend to my show, I ask one question, is like, how many of you or how many of the audience will admit that they're full of shit? Almost no
Right.
one,
Right.
unless you're crazy like me, and I'm gonna say I'm full of shit, literally. But yeah, But the truth to be said, it's like so many things starts in our gut health. Everything starts. And no, I'm not inventing anything. No, been many people before me said the same thing, but maybe no one listened to them. So I think that bringing it to the mainstream, and you've been with me, both of you have been with me in that journey of bringing things to the mainstream, and you've seen how hard it was, and it still
Hmm.
is. I'm not going to say that everything is easy, but I mean, if it was easy, it wasn't happy
Right.
like.
Yeah.
I mean, the more harder, the better I feel about it, because the message actually sink in. So it's okay to pass through all those barriers and all those glass walls. It's okay. It's part of that journey, because if you look in history, every great idea was not easy.
Right.
Every great idea started with so many barrier and glass walls and etc. And only the big lunatic like me stayed and stick to the plan.
Yeah.
And it's not about I'm going to prove you wrong. It's about I do believe in what I do, and if I believe in that way, I will go through it.
Yeah.
Whether people like it or not, that's a different story. I can't really change how a person think about it, but I can open a little bit about how they can look around, and maybe make sense to them,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, my whole goal is to help people and achieve their goal and good health. And that was the only way to really do it, because I use the word shit a lot. And from some reason, the word shit is a barrier
Hmm.
everywhere, and people are so afraid of this word that they're like closing themselves and shuttering themselves. And I'm talking about it very openly. So, no, I don't want to, how you say it nicely, I don't give a shit about what people, in a way. I mean, I do, but I don't. I don't want to be politically correct, because that's not the issue. I
Right.
mean, bringing this matter is not politically correct. Is actually to open your brain, your mind, to accept. So it's not about being politically correct. It's to
Yeah.
put the things the way they are, even if we don't like to hear them, but that's the truth. And I can say that it used to be about cancer 20 years ago. People used to refer cancer as the disease, as the thing. you know no one said, oh, I have cancer. It was a shame, it was taboo. But I guess another lunatic like me decided that no, people need to understand that what is it, what it caused, where it comes from, how we can help, maybe not to save life, but how we can help even to live with it. Same thing about AIDS,
Hmm.
about HIV. You remember
Hmm.
on the 80s,
Hmm.
it was like
Yeah.
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
You couldn't say even the word
Right.
H.
Right.
I mean, it
Right.
was
Yeah.
crazy. And and another people like me that weren't politically correct pretty much wanted to bring things to the mainstream, so people are not going to be afraid of. People
Yeah.
can embrace the information and make a good useful thing with it, and invent the next medicine and the next treatment. Because obviously today we can see a lot of people live with HIV. They can actually run a life with HIV
Yeah.
Yeah.
without being afraid. Of course, if they are watching other things and taking their meds or having good healthy life, there is so many things. So I'm saying it's not about saving life, it's more about maybe long run is saving life, but
Hmm.
at the moment is more helping people to even be open to that information, to accept the information so they can help others. So if someone hears someone suffer from constipation and they heard me, they can say, you know something, that lunatic Karin said that constipation can be caused by, first of all, food, second, emotions,
Mm.
and lack of minerals and lack of probiotics, and to check it out and maybe see the color of the poop. So, so then it's not going to be as crazy as it sounds. Then it's going to sink, and people can make small changes to their lifestyle, to the food that they're intake, to their vitamins, to their medication, maybe even to look through their emotional stage and help, there. So yes, that's what made me write that show and bring it, because that was the only way to bring it to the mainstream. Otherwise, I would be one of many other.
Yeah, yeah. It does seem, Kareen, that there is an order. There's an order in life, and then there's an order in a career, and this, I feel, I know that this is your time.
Hmm.
This has finally become, and maybe we use the word shit all the time when we talk about your podcast and your book and now your one woman show, but it feels like there has been a barrier that's kind of been broken because when we go to, to pitch you and to talk to people about, the stuff that you're doing and to get you on these other podcasts and interviews, at first they're like, oh gosh, I don't know. And then they're like,
Yeah,
oh, but it's like that. I get it. I get it. And I think that in itself is a giant feat, because what you've done is you've broken that word. And it's like what you said with cancer. Everybody was afraid of the C word because they didn't want to get it. Just and the same thing with shit. Oh God, that's so offensive. And then you're like, but it's really talking about your bowel movements. And it's
exactly.
about
And more
it's
than that,
about
too.
more, absolutely. It's about all the shit that we carry, not only in our stomachs, but our emotional content, and how that really weighs you down and brings on the different diseases. And as you talk, Kareen, obviously being at your show and seeing firsthand you talk about, what you're talking about here. What, if you can, because for me, there's several moments from the show that really stick out, but I would love to hear from you about any moment or a story from your show that will resonate with people that when we start taking this on the road. What's one story that will resonate with people and go, oh my God, I've got to hear what she has to say.
You know what? There is one. At least for me, because that was very personal for me. That was one moment that changed my life, because it wasn't the colonics. Seriously, I mean, the actual procedure is amazing, and seeing what you see, and when the brain see it, it's completely act different. But the one moment that changed my life, and I said that also on the show, and I think I say that a lot. My dream was to work with cancer patient. That was my dream. Working with cancer patient again, because I have this place in my heart that God knows I talk to God every day, that I wish I could lay my hand and heal people.
Mhm.
I do in my own way, but not magically. I wish it was. I wish I could take pain from every little kid that suffer from cancer, that tear my heart apart. I wish, but that wasn't the case. So starting with that dream, and I knew I'm gonna learn something to help with that disease. And being in that retreat helping cancer patient back in my 20s. That's how I was familiar with colonics, because the detox was a big part of detoxing the shit of the load of the chemotherapy. And as I mentioned in my show, I think my dream, my um, all my hopes, um, all my destiny pretty much aligned to one moment. And it's so hard to say it, because unless you pass it by your own, like by yourself, it's really hard to explain what you feel in your body. And when you know that this is your love, when you know it's love in first sight, that all the butterflies in your stomach, that all the lights goes off your body, and you're like, you know that moment that people say, I saw a light really at that moment, when one dear friend that I treated, I mean, he's a friend now, but I treated back then, and he came to say thank you for the treatment. And I said, you're more than welcome. That's what I do, and it's amazing. And then he was like, no, Karin, thank you. I was like, thank you for what? I understand. He's like, thank you for making me feel human. It's
Wow.
three words. It might be nothing for others, but thank you for making me feel human, making me feel human. You know how strong that word is?
I can
That
imagine.
moment all my lights was on. That moment I knew that I'm on my road, I'm on my path, I'm on my destiny. This is exactly what I should do. And I knew that, I mean, I was born with a gift. Everyone born with some gift in this universe. I knew it, but I didn't know how to use it properly. At that moment, I knew. I don't know how to explain it, but at that moment, everything, every door I had in my body opened up. And even when I'm saying that now, and it happened 25 years ago, more than 25 years ago, I'm still light. And when I'm talking about, I'm still shiny, like it happened yesterday. Because seeing a smile on someone's face worth millions. There is no amount of money in this world that equal to someone to feel human. Human, you know what it means to me that someone feel human?
Wow.
And by what? By releasing shit out of the system, because he couldn't use the restroom for at least 10 days. He
Oh
was
God.
full of toxins, full of medication, and for half an hour he feel human like me and you, that he can breathe, that he so shit comes out. That's human for him. You know how big it is?
Mm, mm, mm.
I don't think there is something bigger than that.
I don't think so either.
And Eric, I can take your case if you don't mind. You've been feeling up and down in the past 2 years, I want to say, and
Oh
you
yeah.
dealt with some situation. And let's say you were rich and a lot of money. No money will take that pain away from you. No
No,
money
not at
will
all.
take
No.
that. When you laying on that bed, helpless, when other people doing things for you, that's unhuman. So
If anything,
feeling human, that means you feel your organs. That means you can pee by yourself or you can poop by yourself. That's feel human. That is a
exactly.
big deal.
I joke about how when I was in the hospital this time last year, how I had to have, the nurses wiping me. I would make jokes about how for some reason New York, NYU only hires the most beautiful women in the world to be nurses. It was like, man, they would do what they had to do, but when I got home and I was able to, use the bathroom on my own, not on bed, and it did feel, wow, this is great. Another thing, I have a relative who made a mistake and was in prison. And he told me how great it felt to close the door and use the bathroom in private. We really don't think about that. But again, this showed to me, and this is also sort of our end of the year, beginning of the year show. It's not just about it, yeah, going to the bathroom. To me, this has always been more of a mental health show.
Mm.
Because if we
It
were to
is.
do a gut health, if it was just gut health and bathroom stuff, all we would do is, man, I tell you guys, sometimes it takes me a whole roll of toilet paper when I'm done in there. But no, we get to like deeper, meaningful things on this show. And the way you do it, Kareen, it's, hey, the no pun intended, easily digestible. Like your attitude, your playfulness, and with the show, you're giving people this big, important thing that they need to hear, but you're not doing it academically. Because nobody wants to, 99% of people don't want things told to them through academics. They want it personal stories, and that's what you're best at.
Yeah. 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 Yes.
I guess when you live it, you can tell
Yeah.
more about your experience. So yeah, and I'm saying I'm not, you know, I'm not that crazy. I'm not saying that tomorrow everybody's going to start to do colonics. No, it will take time. And yes, it will take time to talk about shit. Maybe we can change it to poop or waste. We can work on the term. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What matter is that people will understand there is ways and that there is hope and there is um, things we can do to improve all those, that holy triangle of physical, mental, and spiritual, because there is a way. And, they say about Jesus, he was crazy. Well, there is
That's right. That's right.
a whole handful of Christians.
Yeah,
Now, that was a joke.
No,
a good one.
that was
Again,
look.
I'm saying it will take time, but I have all the time in the world. You know what? I'm here to stay. I'm not a joke. I'm
No.
not like, oh, I'm here today talking and you're not going to hear me about tomorrow. No, I'm here to stay. I'm
Yes.
here to stay and delivering that message that gut health is the key for 99% of our problems.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
taking all the fires, and I'm taking you to this devastation. It happened in my city, devastation of fires. Many people are suffering right now as we speak from bloating, constipation, and it's all come from fear, from stress, from food, from anxiety, from depression. There is all those things that happening as we speak right now. And yet we can help people to deal with it because, like colonics, we first need to digest everything,
Mhm.
then to process, and then to take it out. And this is what I'm saying about pretty much every disaster that happened. First, we need to inhale the situation, to understand what happened, to grieve, to take it out. But at the end, we have to take it out. At the end, we have to take it out so we can rebuild again. New flora, new system, new
Mm.
everything. So the same way happened pretty much in everything. So yeah, so think about as digestion. Yeah, we need to inhale, process, and take it out. And that's what we need to take it out at the end of the day. So today, yeah, doctors do ask how many times you poop, what's the colors, because it's so important. But again, a year ago, no one asked that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can start to see seeds of movements of, and I see some doctors talk about it, and I'm happy. Work everybody have, shit everybody have. It's like, so It's gonna take a moment, but we're here to stay, and we're here to help, and we're here to make other feel human.
That's right.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
whatever we feel is human. It's about humanity. Whatever we feel, it's human.
Hmm. You know, one thing that I think, Kareen, is here's what I know. You really you've given people the permission, not just with what you do at Pure Center, but with this podcast and now in particular with this show. You've given permission to think about. That you've given permission to people to think and feel and to be okay with talking about their bowel movements, their gut health, the way that they look at their emotional content and put that into gut health. You've given them that permission to laugh, to cry, to feel. And one thing that I do know that with that when you came out with your poop chart, I don't know if the light's on there, but with the poop chart, no joke, it shows people their stool,
It's a
right?
mirror.
That
Yeah.
and I kid you not. This is how comfortable that I think I am and Eric is when you start talking about your poop chart and looking at your poop. You go, "Oh, that's not too healthy. I think I should eat more, whatever, right? More fiber." And I'm watching, I tell you, you have made such a difference and you are going to continue in a bigger way
We
with
will.
your
We
story. And yes, your one woman show. And oh my gosh, there's so much to continue to talk about. I do want to say that we had two amazing reviews about your show. Shalar Vale, these are all linked. The links will be in, and I know that's work calling, but links are in the description. Shalar Vale, she is very gut health oriented, and she was talking to me, and you've made her want to think
do
about trying a
colonics.
colonic.
I know. And one other thing, I think it's really important. I wrote a book that's called Shit Isn't a
Yes.
Dirty Word. It should be in every restroom possible in this country or around the world. Everything I'm talking about is in that book.
Hmm.
It's like the holy grail of
Yeah.
colonics. And
Yeah.
and it's so important. So important. So yeah, I'm saying buy it, read about it in the most amazing way, the
Yeah.
most funny, simple to understand. This is why I wrote that book, so you can enjoy, and it will answer so many questions you have
Hmm.
more than
Yeah.
I mean, I put everything there. In every page, you will find yourself. I promise.
Yes. 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 And one
And
more
you can
mention.
find it in Amazon. You can find it
Yes.
in our
In your store on yep,
purcenter.com
yep.
store.
Hmm. Everywhere, everywhere. And links will be in the description.
Yes.
And I should say one other from the NoHo Arts District there in Hollywood. And her name is Samantha Simmons Ronceros, and she gave you probably one of the best compliments is I felt like I had been to a TED Talk and actually learned something I could relate to and
Wow.
use in my everyday in her everyday life. And then she continues, and I also laughed my butt off. Bravo, Kareen. I think that speaks a lot. I think that says a lot.
It is.
And Kareen, you are just getting started. I'm getting so pumped up because now all bets are off. You've taken
Yeah.
you've taken shit off
We.
the table. Yes. Yes.
It's we triangle. It's we.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing some job. We. I couldn't do it without you to,
Thank
really
you.
making dreams come true.
Yes. 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 Absolutely. Making dreams come true. And And teaching people the importance of letting shit go and looking at your poop may just save your life. I love you, Kareen. I love you, Eric.
You
I love
too. I
you
love
both.
both of you guys so
My
much.
gosh. Thank you, everybody.
I think
This
that's
has
the
been,
perfect way to end the show.
yeah, yeah. Stay tuned. Follow Kareen on social media. And we'll let you know whenever she's coming to your neck of the woods. I can't wait. It's happening.
It is. I can't wait to see you soon, Eric, in New York.
Same. I can't wait.
It's gonna be great.
Amen.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. All right, Eric, you want to take us out? Thank you,
God bless
everybody.
everybody.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for listening in this week. All of Kareen's links will be in the description. And again, everybody, be excellent to each other.